Hey everyone, I'm back. We were planning on putting together a really great show of them unshackling me from the basement that I've been hidden away in for the past, what's it been, Chris Masucci? Like 5 days, 10 days?
17 years.
17 years? Yeah, I've been shackled in a basement. Chat. I'm alive. Sales didn't want me anymore. The tricky thing is that everybody wants me. So
The tricky thing that everybody. Welcome in, everybody. Today we got Baby J. We're painting up a squad. Welcome in Lumberjack, General Ginkgo Source, Lumber,
Miss you
Papa
guys.
Chicken. Welcome in Rattlecan.
Ghost Hunter, I apologize for not saying good morning. It has been ludicrously busy around here today. Honestly, this whole week has been pretty crazy.
Oh,
So I
and
apologize.
Vector.
So happy good morning, Mr. Ghost Hunter. I hope you've been
right.
having a good week.
Thank you so much, Vector, for the resub for 9 months. All right.
I
Mr.
blame
Jordan.
chat for getting me out of the dungeon.
Mr. Jordan, what are we doing today?
So, this looks a little disheveled, but all right. So, here's what we have on the docket today. So, in traditional new stream fashion, we have an exciting tutorial planned for you today.
That's right.
So, because we have a little less time than what Jason's had to work on, like a longer project, we kind of came up with a really fun project that we're going to do in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan is to show you guys how you can take a model from nothing to finished really fast so that you can get your models on the table, ready to go, looking great, without a ton of extra rigmarole effort.
Yep.
And to do that, we're going to feature some of the brand new ColorForge primers that we have.
Yep.
So in this case, we started off with Imperial Purple and Salamander Green. And then we're going to move on to finishing off the rest of this model using your favorite Pro-Acryl. So we've got some paints lined up here that we're going to use. We're going to use a couple of different techniques. And the plan is to be real simple, not take a whole lot of time. We're going to finish up the armor using two more steps. We're going to paint all of the extra bits and bobs using some coal black and neutral gray for the undersuit and the gun and things like that. We're going to do the rich gold for the little pips on the shoulder pads. We're going to use some silver for the bits of the gun that are supposed to be silver. And then we're going to use some orange, red, and some warm yellow for the eyes.
Nice.
The lenses. And then if we have time here at the end, which I think we probably will, we're going to do some weathering.
Nice.
Just to tie it all together.
Chat, this is a big, big day. Welcome in, everybody.
So,
if you're just tuning in, we are doing a squad paint up with Baby J. It's going to be great.
We're going to get this started here in just a minute once we get a little bit more people loaded in. Hello, everyone. This is going to be for Salamanders. What's that? Strayer Shrek?
Strayer Shrek, yep.
Strayer
It's going
Shrek,
to be
there we go.
Salamanders.
It's
Camel,
purple
hey, how you doing?
on dark blue. Hard to read. Sorry about that.
Freehand, a little fire on the shoulders, T-Schmid. Maybe.
Well, hold on. All right. That's
No.
y'all are asking for a
T-Schmid.
little bit of extra work. We got to get 5 guys done in 2 hours.
That's right.
All right. So
That's right. If you're all tuning in, welcome in.
if you get lucky,
It's a bright, beautiful Friday.
it is.
With Baby J.
It's gonna be a nice Friday. I'm feeling good about today,
Yep.
and it's good to be back. I've missed you guys. I've missed good old Mr. Sushi over here.
That's right.
It's gonna be great. I've seen you paint, Jordan. You can do it.
So tell me a little bit about the little base coat we've got here
Yeah. So
and where we're gonna start.
It's a start. So you start with spraying the whole model with Imperial Purple, and then you zenithal over the top of the Imperial Purple with the Salamander Green. And that gets you with this nice finished result right here. You can see that purple is still visible, which is good. So we get a little bit of that, shadow already established. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically dry brush over these raised areas with green, and then we're going to edge highlight with some bright green. And that'll finish up the armor, and then we're going to paint all the rest of the little bits and bobs.
Nice.
Zombie, I am not mispronouncing royal. We are talking about
Imperial Purple. It is a ColorForge primer,
which you can buy on a website that may or may not have a link right now.
At some point, we will get back to the Trench Crusade models, but today we have Baby J for a little limited time, and we wanted to show off some good, fast techniques.
They only let me out of the dungeon for 2 hours, guys. I haven't eaten anything yet. Please save me.
Please save me.
Please save me.
I'm not here. I'm here against my will. All right.
Oh. Ooh, you ordered the salamanders one. You're waiting for it to come in.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Yes, it is a cool green color.
Yeah,
Chat. I
mean, it's
really
the perfect
love
color
this.
for salamanders.
I was showing this to Baby J and Jason the other day. I'm like, this color is awesome.
So, when do you think we're gonna get started?
Let's do this.
All right, let's
hop
do this.
right in.
All right. So, first thing, I'm gonna take a couple minutes to kind of set up how you want to get planned for doing this, right? The reality is, the more that you have planned when you go into a project like this, the better off that you're going to be, right? You want to have the everything planned out. So you want to have the base coats planned out. You want to know exactly what you're going to be painting for highlights. You want to know where they are. You want to know what colors you're going to be using. You want to know whether you're going to use a wash or whether you're not going to use a wash at the end. You want to know all of these things, right? So that's why I have all these colors in front of me. I've already done the preparation ahead of time to have everything ready to go so that we can just sit down and knock it out, right? So, and I'll be talking about kind of what I'm doing as I'm doing it, but a lot of the prep went into this ahead of time. So we're just going to show you the results of the planning. And I've already kind of explained some of the planning that we've done ahead of time so that you can see that it can be done in 2 hours. And the first thing that we're going to start with is our very own DD3 dry brush that we're going to use to dry brush the green on here. Now, I could have been a little bit more prepared. Oh, never mind. I am super prepared. These are already ready. You guys.
I'm so sorry, but
you guys are amazing.
I do my best for the best.
Oh, my goodness.
Chat.
I'm proud of these guys.
Ghost Hunter, yes, that is not a DD100. DA100, that's right.
All right.
Panic bomb plans, preparations. No thanks. I love to live dangerously. No, we like to prep here. This is live.
We like to prep here. All right, so we're just taking a really light dry brush here.
What was that?
So this is just green.
Nice. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit for you, chat. There you go.
You gotta move this into the right spot. Here, let me move these guys out of the way so we.
Nice.
And this color is mostly the same as what the base color is, so I'm gonna kind of use this to support that base color and hit some of those areas in the shadow that are maybe a little too heavy. This will also do a little bit of edge highlighting. It'll smooth together those two base coats that we have, or the base coat and the highlight that we've already done. And this is really quick, really simple, short step. It'll also do a little bit of edge highlighting on the areas of shadow where we're going to avoid doing the brightest edge highlights. So you could even theoretically skip this step. I like this step because it just smooths everything together a little bit.
Just going back, Guardians. No, we sprayed it with Imperial Purple first, and then Zenithal with the Salamander Green. So I would prime the whole thing in orange or orange
in
purple,
orange.
Imperial Purple.
All right. That's literally all we're doing for that.
Oh, that's great.
It just, see how you can see it a lot on this arm where it just kind of blended that together, softened it up, right?
And what green was that, Jordan?
Green.
Green.
This is green.
That was just straight up green.
It's a way of really like helping those transitions, because sometimes, like with a rattle can, right, you don't have as much control as you do with an airbrush. So this layer of dry brushing really comes in and it helps give you that smoother transition that you would expect with a dry brush.
Papa Chicken, orange and purple. No, actually, orange and purple. The Imperial purple, under Convict orange is also a great workup. Can you center up just a little for me, Jordan?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, welcome in, Mo. If you guys are all just tuning in, Brutal Burrito with that 9-month sub.
Woo!
Brutal, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that. Mo, welcome in. Wad, we are here with Baby J, painting up a squad. We used Imperial Purple from Color Forge with Salamander Green from Color Forge as the Zenithal.
Yep. Yeah, it looks really nice. It really softens that transition. Really.
Guardian, I'm gonna have to buy Imperial Purple now and some transparents. Nice. Yes, I'm really loving the Imperial Purple, the Horix Brown as your base. They're very, very good places to start. It gets me jazzed when you know, obviously you're gonna prime something, and this step just gets you more jazzed because I feel like the model's like halfway done in my brain. So, yeah. Big love for Baby J.
Hey, I'm back.
He's back.
What up, everyone?
And we call in the Vanguard when we need a specific mission done, and that is what Baby J is here to do. He's to show us the power of Pro Krill.
The power of Pro Krill. Had a little bit much there on the dry brush. You notice that's a little shiny there. It's just because I put a little too much green on the dry brush, but it's still drying, so we can kind of smooth that out a little bit, soften it up.
Adult J, what are you vanguarding? Adult J Cabana.
Adult J Gabbana.
So if you're all just tuning in, painting up a squad with Baby J, he is dry brushing green right now over Color Forge Imperial Purple and Salamander Green from Color Forge.
This step is super good too.
I love how it looks on camera. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is that this green that we have, right? Like when you have a traditional paint, right? It's not gonna be as opaque as like you're gonna slap on with a spray, right? So one of the wonderful things about this is you're getting really nice kind of gradient transitions by doing a light dry brush over the purple. You can still see that purple underneath, even the dry brush layers that I'm doing, right? So it really does a wonderful job of smoothing everything together.
Warm Master Forge. Yeah, it's nice to see how Imperial Purple comes out. Wasn't sure how dark it was from the website picture. Is it similar in value to dark purple or more like between dark and regular?
It's like royal purple with a touch of dark purple added to it.
I would say that is exactly it. But it comes out really nice out of the can. This was very, you don't want to go too thick or too thin with it when you're putting it on as you're spraying it. But I mean, y'all can see it here. It is
yeah, we're gonna get really, really good results.
We're 50 here, so that just makes me excited. Cool. General Ginkgo.
That's done.
You know me and dry brushing. It is my love. I love dry brushing.
We're even gonna take a minute to clean the dry brush.
Oh my goodness!
Like a studious person, right? We're just gonna get it here. I'll show you guys while I do this.
Yeah.
These out of the way a little bit. I'm gonna scoot these paints back.
Sure. Yeah. Are you showing us the?
You just watch me clean this a
Yeah.
little bit. Just getting the tip of the brush damp, and we're just going back and forth, kind of rolling it, just like you were dry brushing, just on the palette. And you can see we got most of that out. It's gonna stain the brush a little bit. That's okay. I just want to make sure that you're not getting a bunch of green on your finger when you're doing this. I'm getting a little bit on here, which means that it's not completely clean. So we're gonna just keep on massaging it into the paper here.
Nice. Glorious Badger with the raid with 41.
Hey,
welcome in, Raiders.
Welcome, Raiders.
If you're all just tuning in, we are painting up a squad with Baby J here. We started with Imperial Purple from Color Forge and Salamander Green. Yep. And we are painting up a 5-man squad today. Having some fun.
Start to finish.
Start to finish.
Boom. There they are.
Welcome,
right.
welcome, Raiders. We always appreciate the raid. We just ended with the dry brush of green over these guys.
All right, now, bright green.
Going straight into the bright green.
Straight into the bright green. And this we're just going to do edge highlights. This is probably going to be the most specific part of the process, where we're going to want to really do this with care, because this is a spot where you want to be the smoother and the more accurate you do these highlights with the bright green, the better off you're going to be.
Nice.
And I'm also going to mix it with green a little bit for some of the areas in towards the legs. You can see how I'm kind of pulling here if you want to go back really quick.
Yeah.
So you can see I'm mixing a little bit here on the palette. And then I go back to my thumb palette here. And we're going to just remove a little bit of this extra off. And then we're going to come through. And just start these little edge highlights.
Can you come up just a touch, Jordan?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. What step do you reprime it, though? Papa Chicken, none of that's happening today. This is start to finish right here. I'm going to see if I can punch in 500% on these little edge highlights.
Yeah.
Check that out, chat.
Are we in focus there?
Oh, yeah. It's funny. It will look a little fuzzy because I am taking the sensor and blowing it up 500%. That's why it does that. So it will trick the eye a little bit. Flapjack, Law Dog, welcome in everybody. Awkwardish. Yes, we have Baby J today. Doing a 5-man squad from start to finish. We started with Imperial Purple and Salamander Green from Colorforge. Get all these colors at the Colorforge FNA.com, North American site.
Available to the lower 48.
Yep.
Still working on figuring out getting
also,
them to Canada.
Across the pond, we're also over there too already. They're great. They've been awesome. Like, this workup has been, I just love how it goes on the model. So I'm very much enjoying it already. Avian, welcome in. Panic Bomb, welcome in. Glorious Badger, always love the raids.
This area down here, I'm going to use more of that green color because we're down in kind of the shadowed areas.
Glorious Badger, this is a lovely looking workup. Yes, that Imperial Purple underneath the Salamander Green from Colorforge is awesome. Avian. So what is this marine going to be, Baby J? Mantis Warrior? Oh, wait. Wrong Millennium.
Wrong Millennium, yep. I know this is technically a 30K model, but we're making it work. The application will always be the same anyways, so you don't have to worry about anything being different. Obviously, the specific shapes will be a little different, but that's okay. Just use the same techniques and processes, and you can apply them to whatever model that you're painting. It doesn't have to be a Space Marine. It can be an ogre, or it can be a skeleton, you know. Christopher and I have had a lot of conversations, you know, talking about processes for getting some of his armies painted even.
Yeah. This last week I finished up on my Soul Blight. It's been going great, especially when you have. I didn't use the normal colors I normally do, but I've been trying some new things. A little OSL here and there.
Yeah, your workup for the undead. What was your whatchamacallit?
The zombies.
Well, the zombies. I mean, everything you've done with that army is great, but in particular, that workup that you made up for the the not the engine, the
The Mortis engine.
the Mortis engine.
The ghostly.
Yes.
The ghostly. Yeah, I did
it's
my
great.
Nagash that way too.
I think it would be super funny if we got you on here to do do that.
Ghostly workup.
Yeah.
I found a couple that have been really nice, but a couple of nice workups. Hoosier, welcome in. Baby J, what are you painting? He is painting today a squad from start to finish. We primed these in Imperial Purple and Salamander Green from Colorforge, and this is what we're playing with today. Also, Hoosier, I don't know if you saw it, but I threw my Nurgle models in chat or in Discord the other day or yesterday night. So give it a check out. Yes, Ghost Hunter Gargant workups are my forte. We were talking about that a little bit yesterday, Jordan.
Oh, really?
Just the process of like, coming from where I was to now where I am now, like, just being a little bit more confident in my painting, but also loving how I used to do that kind of stuff just because it was a means to an end, but a good means, a very unique way to get from point A to point B. Swifty Bear, I have trying to be more committed on posting in our Discord of my workups. From some of my stuff, if you look at some of my Nurgle workups, I tend to, on all my models, I will take a dry brush of olive flesh over everything, any model typically, and I'll just do a dry brush of olive flesh because it just brings me some kind of weird joy. I love the chalkiness vibe it brings, the cartoony style chalkiness to it with the really harsh highlights on it. Awkwardish Chris, those models are disgusting. Yes, I have a bunch of I put a bunch of that Oohoo glue stuff on it. I'm glad you like them. Yes, if you're at LVO right now, Guardians, you can pick up some Colorforge at the Monument booth.
Just remember, you can't take it on a plane.
Yep, can't take it on a plane.
That's why we can't ship it to places outside of the lower 48. So if you drove, you're in luck. But if you flew...
Can you scoot that up for me a little bit? There you go. Hoosier, I'm glad you like it. Voldemort sucks. Can I ask why Warhammer is so popular in the painting category? I've seen different figure painters who paint action figures from movies or other games. They've got great sculpts. They've been around forever. It's just kind of in my opinion, they've been around for a long time, so they have a lot of things to paint. But we're seeing a lot of models come out from everywhere now, so you're gonna just naturally see the bigger category because there's more to paint.
I think another simple answer to that, just as an addition, is that this world has been they've been growing this world and this IP and this story for a very long time. Over the course of the 30 something years that they've been doing this.
Yeah.
And they've struck a chord with the narrative and people really enjoy it. And I think that narrative in that world is really compelling for a lot of people, especially in the sci-fi space. And as a result, people just want to, be a part of it in any way they can, whether that be through reading the books or through, making their armies, etc. A lot of that inspiration comes from the fluff and from the stories that are told and written in this world, or in this universe, I should say. So,
Solo, the pics are in our Discord, completed models. Dusty Hobbies, first time chat. I've just finished my miniatures My first miniatures using Pro Acrylic paints. I'm
Nice.
100% converted.
Nice.
Hands down, the best miniature paint I've used ever. Nice. That brings us absolute joy.
Nothing but joy.
Welcome to the family.
Man, it's so hard to paint with this whatchamacallit. I gotta have boo-boo on my finger.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hate that loss of like tactile sensation.
Sure.
And especially because that's a big part of my like how I feel and like push the
Yeah.
brush.
Uh-huh.
So it's very, very weird to paint with my finger like this.
Yeah, sure. If you're all just tuning in, welcome. Panic Bomb, glad you like those Nurgles. They're fun. I like painting Nurgle. It's one of my favorite. I did actually, if you check out that Rodigus, most of that is dry brushed, even the undertones.
I'm planning on painting one of those this weekend.
Oh, Rodigus?
It's not
Or a
Rodigus.
great unclean
It's
one?
a great unclean
Oh
one,
my
yeah.
gosh, they're such good fun models to paint. If you're all just now tuning in, we are painting up a squad today of 5. We started with Imperial Purple as the base, and Zenithal highlighted it with some Salamander Green from Colorforge. And now we're doing some edge highlighting. This is gonna be a good VOD, Chad.
Did you say Chad?
I said Chad. I meant
Oh
to
my
say,
gosh.
hey,
Christopher.
Chad. It's a good one, Chad.
Christopher, just because Jason's here, I'll say it. You're fired.
I'm fired.
You took one wrong step, Chris Masucci.
Avian, all right. Chris, could you tell Slow Fuse, I'm self-eBaying rescuing some of my models, and yes, just painting over the model. It works. That's right. Travel Cedric, Reprime for 13 months. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit here for you.
Yep.
Nice. Yes, General Ginkgo, they are very fun to paint, those great unclean ones. Tempted to paint a 7th one.
A 7th one?
3rd of the current sculpt. Very nice.
I imagine it's going to paint up super fast, to be honest.
Dusty Hobbies, had no idea you guys had a Discord. Yes, you just joined. Perfect.
Welcome.
Welcome.
You will have a great time.
Yes.
Oh, I got to put a little bit of the brighter.
Teeny tiny victories. Oh, I love the purple to shade green. Yes, it's Imperial Purple with Salamander Green over it. It is such the Salamander Green, chat, super cool. Like, it's just a super cool color. General Ginkgo got the Epic and a few old metal models. Yeah, there's some really cool, great unclean ones out there. New sculpts are very cool, too.
All right, that's looking pretty good.
That looks great. 1 down?
2 down.
2 down? Oh, my
That's 2.
goodness. He's going so fast, chat.
That's 2 down.
That's Baby J's forte.
I do paint really fast.
You paint fast and well.
Thank you. That's kind of you to say.
Hey.
You're a
welcome.
gentleman and a scholar.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You are one of both and both of one.
Teeny tiny victories. What would you say your closest monument shades are to those, Jordan?
To the Salamander Green?
Yeah, and the Imperial Purple.
Imperial Purple is pretty close to Royal Purple. It's like Royal Purple with a touch of like dark purple added to it. And the Salamander Green, honestly, is really close to green.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Very similar to green.
Earlier in the stream, if you kind of go towards the beginning, he took some dry brush of green to fill out some of the edges in the recesses that the prime missed a little bit because, you didn't want to throw it on too thick, but then he dry brushed green. So
yeah, it's a way of smoothing out the transitions between not an airbrush, but a rattle can spray to make it look much more like an airbrushed zenithal.
Yeah.
And it's really effective in doing so.
Pro paint taster. I know a cool salamander player that runs with camo green and coal black. I hear is an absolute fantastic 30K player and even beat Jordan during his first 30K game ever.
Oh, that's Grant. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Grant! I forgot you're pro paint taster.
Yeah. Also, he cheated.
Let
Let it be known.
it be known.
Let it be known
Grant.
to the world that that he cheated me. I was cheated. For those of you who have played the game, I was told that Space Marines hit on 4s with their pew pew guns.
Teeny tiny victory looks really lovely. I don't have the green yet. I do have the one from Louise's set though. Bright green is what he's using on the edge highlights right now.
So I'm mixing bright green into green to do a lot of these edge highlights, and the ones on the uppermost part of the armor I'm doing in bright green.
Oh, this is going to be such a fun workup.
And this might involve me going back and touching up a little bit of this at the very, very end. Because I have some cool ideas on what we can do with the extra time that we're going to have.
Chat, did you hear that? Jordan's is like, with all the extra time I'm going to have.
You guys will see.
We're going to keep him accountable, chat.
Well, what time is it right now, Christopher?
4:00.
Great.
Guardian,
Sounds like we got extra time.
I tried using dark camo, then camo green with bright green highlights on a black primer. So much green. Oh, yeah. That's a lot of green, Guardians. Avian, yeah. Baby J. He can just paint well. This is how he goes. That's how he do.
I know what you guys are talking about.
Colonel,
I
welcome in.
suck at this.
Papa Chicken, how often do you all use the size 6 from Sam Lens's weapon rack, or just our normal synthetic 6? How often do you use it, Jordan?
All the time.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm doing any sort of like
Big shading or something,
big
maybe?
base coating, big shading, I use that. I use it for mixing stuff a lot.
Yeah.
It gets used for a wide variety of things. It is definitely one of my go-to brushes for sure.
Bud, welcome in. General Ginkgo. I mean, he's a speedy painter. I get it. Yeah, he is a very speedy painter. Mr. Jordan is. Can you center up just a touch for me, Jordan?
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. Love that shot. Great shot. Excellent shot. Rose asking, any tips for me? I shake a lot.
Yeah, so one of the things that you can do, and you'll see me doing this a lot when I paint.
I can zoom out a little bit too.
Yeah, if you zoom out, it'll be a good way to show this. Let me get a little bit of paint on my brush really quick. I hold my hand a lot, so the key to remaining stable is to create as many points of contact with a solid surface as possible. So right now I have both of my elbows on the desk, rock solid, and then I am holding my pinky and putting pressure on these two fingers with my pinky so I can kind of rest my hand without having to use my muscles to hold it. And then I am bracing kind of the edge of my wrist on the table as well with my right hand. So my left hand is not like applying any pressure on the wrist at all. I can literally keep my wrist completely limp while I paint this. And that lets you have so much more control than you would otherwise. It is the best way for anybody who has any sort of stability issues or anybody who just wants to have a really, really stable brushstroke can use to get a really nice, clean line on whatever it is that they're painting.
Sir blames like having a mini holder helps a ton. Yes, I would agree too. Even just like we use cork, right?
Yeah, just using this little cork
just helps
is
with
great.
your stability. Black bladder. Is it true you can fix up the tip of a synthetic brush by dipping it in boiling water?
No.
I've never even heard of that.
Mm-mm. So you can change it, but it's never going to go back to its original completely straight form. Jason's talked about this quite a bit in the past, and I'll kind of reiterate the same things that he talks about here. Is when you bend a piece of plastic, and synthetic brushes are essentially just plastic. Plastic is polymer. These are polymer fibers that we're using. What happens is they change the fundamental shape of their original form. So like think about bending if you bend a straw, right? Everybody's bent a straw. That straw is never exactly the same shape it originally was. It will always have that kink in the straw. Even if you're able to like iron it out and do a little bit of stuff, it'll always have that kink in the straw. You cannot get rid of it. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use it, right? Straw still works fine. Same thing is true with the brush, right? Those, if you have a little bit of a kink in the brush, you got a little bit of a bent tip, that's totally fine. You can still use it. You just use that tip to your advantage, and you rotate your brush to find the point and put the point where it belongs on the model. Because that's all we're doing with painting miniatures anyways. Is we're directing the tip of the brush to where it needs to be on the model.
Ro, thank you so much for that sub as well. Hopefully
you.
those tips helped. Yeah, I do enjoy a good painting handle myself too.
Yeah.
The cork, they make a big difference. So definitely, I'm sure you potentially already have one, but definitely, even if it's like a big cork, you know, I like bigger corks regardless. So that will definitely help. We're doing some 5-man squad paint ups today, chat. If you're just now tuning in, we started with Imperial Purple with Zenithal of Salamander Green from Colorforge. Then we did a dry brushing of green, just a light dry brushing to fill in some of those hidden little fun spots. And now we're using bright green to do some edge highlighting.
And the nice thing is the more of these that you do the edge highlighting on, the quicker it goes, right? The first couple, you're kind of just like figuring out where the right spots are on the armor to do the edge highlights. But once you get to the third or fourth model in the unit, you're going to really get a better sense of like, okay, this is where it goes. I can kind of cut corners here. I don't need to put the edge highlight there. And then once you kind of figure that out, you can get it to go really, really fast. Like these last two, I think will take a significantly shorter time than the previous ones did.
Pro challenge, make a wizard's butt squad. Swifty Bear, that would be an incredible squad. Arcotron, yes, Imperial Purple. You can get it from the Colorforge / or -na.com. It's a great base color.
Yeah, the purple works really, really well with the green.
Yeah.
It gives you a really nice result.
Horax Brown too would also look good.
Gives you a little bit more of that kind of weathered
look.
This is definitely a better choice for the really like bright, vibrant green.
Mm-hmm. Pro Paint Taster. Yes, Grant. The sprays are very nice. Takes a huge amount of time off of a project. Trench Brown is great. Yes, Trench Brown is a great color.
That guy himself has got a really fun new project coming along.
Oh, you do,
that
Grant?
I'm going to help him with. I'm not going to share what it is.
Can you center up for me, Jordan, a little?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I'm not going to share what it is.
Oh.
But it's going to be exciting. I'm going to work with him on it to help him get it to come to life.
Ooh. Nice.
Sorry, I'm floating around a lot.
No, you're good. Definitely gets taken some use to. Especially with the new angles of the cameras and such.
Yeah. It's all
Vector
different.
Horax Brown is the perfect primer for rusty terrain. Dry brush with black brown, then white and with white gold. Yeah. It is a great Horax Brown is actually one of my favorite primers now. I'll base all my stuff in, especially all my terrain pieces that I do. Absolutely. That's a great base. I've got a big terrain project I'm going to work on after I start my Gargants.
Chris, I need to have somebody convince me to not do to not paint up Vordry and do a
Vordry?
Yeah, and do an undead army.
What's Vordry?
Vordry.
What is that?
Christopher.
What are you talking about? What?
Oh my gosh.
You mean Cities Sigmar?
Nope.
What?
I'm talking about the other guy.
What? What are you talking about?
Soul Blight.
Oh, I know that, but why do you need convincing?
To do that, to not do that instead of doing cities.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I need you to keep me honest, Christopher.
I think they're cool, but it said like later this year or something.
I mean, that could mean anything. Who knows?
Yeah, later this year could be tomorrow. I don't know.
I mean, I can guarantee you it's not gonna be tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but they haven't announced an AOS release this year, so we'll see.
I know. Well, they had Iron Jaws already come out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh. They've actually announced a couple things. That one was their first one. So yeah, the Borrow Knights are very cool. I have the old Graveguard, which are super classic, but they're definitely old. So they're cool models.
They still look good though. They hold up all right.
Yeah, my army. I have even like the original skeletons too, but I actually have 40 Cursed City zombies. I don't even like. I painted those instead of just like the normal ones, but yeah, it's good stuff. I think you should paint cities. It's because you have that one big model, the lion.
I do
thing.
have that.
That was a good one. That's such a cool model. If you're all just tuning in, we're painting up a squad today. We started with Imperial Purple with Zenithal of Salamander Green from Color Forge. Super fun workup. Baby J's going to paint 5 of these guys in 2 hours, maybe, chat.
Maybe.
No, I'm just calling
The
them
heck
out.
is that supposed to mean?
Whoa, call them out.
What do I get if I make this happen?
What if you get?
Yeah, what do I get? What are you going to do for me?
You get a cookie.
You don't have a cookie to give me.
How do you know?
I am aware of these things.
I am aware my cookie senses are not tingling.
I am aware of the fact that Chris Masucci does not, in fact, have cookies to give me.
Can you center up a little for me, Jordan?
Yeah.
Jordan's going to kill me at the end of this chat.
I
So
don't care.
it's my last day. Yes, the Jordan is Jordan still working on a Golden Demon? Asked Bud.
Well,
Well, there's your answer, chat.
I was told by Philip, of all people, yesterday. He said, "You're still working on a Golden Demon, right?" And I was like,
Is
"Yeah,
Philip?
I mean, I haven't really started it yet." And he's like, "Well, you better do it because we're all doing it." And I was like, "What? What do you mean? I thought you said you weren't going to do it." He's like, "Nope, we're doing it." And I was
Who
like, "All
is?
right." Philip,
And who?
Shelby, Gabe.
They're not doing it.
I don't think Shelby and Gabe are going to do it.
No, they ain't doing it.
No way. Gabe, maybe.
Hey, that'd be great. I ain't doing it.
You're not doing one?
No,
But
no.
I thought you're going.
No, but I'm not gonna do. I don't have time. I don't have the time. I don't have the. I have a concept, but I want to give that project a absolute, just at my absolute attention.
Yeah. I mean, that's really what it's going to come down to, right?
No, I know Philip will do it.
Even when I start it,
Philip was saying,
and I
absolutely
get going
do
on it.
Yep.
I mean, and you guys will see the process because I'll share it as I do it. But, it's going to be one of those things where if I get to a point with it and I'm like, I'm not going to have this done in time to the level that I would want it to be, then I won't bring it.
Can you center it for me, Jordan?
Um,
Yeah, I mean, I just don't have, unfortunately, the time. I've been working on so many other projects beforehand. Teach me to just bring your favorite model, Chris, put it in the case. I've thought about that, but I do have a good concept for one.
Is this the LOTR one?
Oh, I have a couple. Yeah, I do. It was funny. I was mentioning it to Jason. The original Jason idea was how you have such like a really cool diorama, right? You have such a really dope diorama all around the invisible Smeagol model.
Yeah.
Which would be actually dope. Like him hunting, or even him in the foundations, of the mountain. Like, in the caves would be cool. No, I'm not entering Smaug Pro Painter, Mr. Grant. I am not doing that. My other idea was doing the stone trolls or the trolls that turn into stone from
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit, yeah, like the diorama, way after the fact, right? Not like during the Hobbit, but
yeah, they're like overgrown.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I still need to think about that.
I think that would be a spectacular one.
I think
that would almost just be a terrain piece.
That's the idea.
And
that's my idea.
Honestly, Christopher, I think you should do it.
That is, if I was going to do one, that's the one I'm going to do, right? Like,
don't worry, chat. I'll get them.
For this year, probably not. Maybe next year, though.
We'll get you to start on it at least.
Yeah. Right now, like I said on stream yesterday, my current mission from God is doing my Gargants again and doing stone, like redoing it. Oh my goodness.
All right. Next.
All right. So, Baby J, what did you just do?
All right. So,
if you're just tuning in,
we just completed all of the edge highlights on the armor. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take coal black and we're going to paint all the bits and bobs that are supposed to be black on these guys. So that'll be the gun, that'll be the chest, that'll be the lenses will get the initial coverage there. And this will make the that green really pop.
I'm going to zoom in here for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're using, what black is that?
Coal black.
Coal black. Straight up.
Right out of the pot, not thinning it.
Captain Mannering's dip wash, question mark?
No. Might throw a wash on these.
Colonel, yes, this whole Smaug thing, something that you'll eventually get done in your lifetime. Yes, that is my goal. I want to
also give that model its time and respect as well, because that's very very big project. And I'm also going to record it in the process. I have a lot of projects, chat, and I stick to one and then I finish it.
Christopher's a new man.
I am a new man.
He's been made anew in
How-
the completion of his Soulblight Gravelords.
That, you know, when you see it on the table and you're, you know what, like you stop overthinking things, you just get it done.
Yep.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what I'm going to do with my Gargants. And then I'm going to probably work. There's a couple things I want to work on. I would like to start dipping my toes into better dioramas and doing that. But we'll see. Ooh, Colonel Jordan, question.
Yeah.
Would you do Noosh on these Space Marines?
Totally.
Oh yeah, Noosh is great. Guardian's been really liking the satin black. I love satin black. I've started to do all of the my base rims in satin black.
Oh, nice.
Give it a little extra shine, kind of like a little extra shine on it. Yeah, it goes on very smooth. Dusty Hobbies, yeah, satin black is great. The Adepticon set is one of my favorite sets just for the versatility it can bring to all of our other paint. I just like magnesium is one of my favorite metallics we have. Yeah, satin black is super, super smooth. Colonel, well, good for you, Chris. I know you guys have huge armies, but have not painted any. I offer to help, but I would never want the help, so they'll never get done. No, I just finished my Colonel. I think I was mentioning this yesterday. I just finished my Soulblight, and actually, right currently, technically, I have 4 armies done.
That's crazy.
But you know, in my own unique way, right? Like, for example,
Oh, I don't know if I would count some of those.
I don't count them I don't count them in the terms of where I am now, where I used to be. I totally counted them because for me, an army's finished when the theme is finished, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had a Gloomspite Gitz army. It was all Grots. And my whole theme was that they were in the light of the bad moon. So all I did was zenithal all them with 3 different layers of zenithals and said that they were in the light of the bad moon. And I actually really like how that army came out. But now that we have, that was just like back in the day when I was just using like store-bought rattle cans and then, you know, Montana Gold or something, spray paint.
Dang.
And they came out great. But now I'm like, oh, I want to redo that whole army, but with Pro-Acryl, but in the same theme with my airbrush. Now that I'm diving into airbrushing, which I actually airbrush a lot because I also do a lot of terrain on my free time.
That reminds me, I got to bring in that box for you.
Papa Chicken, oh man, I bought a Squig army way back when, but never did anything with it. Got those 6 squid dice too. Yeah, the Squigs are very cool. Not drilling our barrels, are we? Winky wink.
I am a bad person for not drilling my barrels.
Oh,
I did not build these models, though.
General Gingo, that's a great workup.
How are we
Base
looking on
coat.
time, Mr. Christopher?
Oh yeah, it's almost 3.
Yeah, we're looking good.
Looking really good. Yeah, General Ginkgo, I'll have to try that workup. Base coat, deep sea bend, then dry brush, dark emerald, green oxide. Yeah, that's a great one. Then hit with that magnesium. Okay. Ooh, a 1-to-1 silver magnesium. Okay. Beautiful tarnish armor. I'm gonna have to try that. What size brush are you using?
Size 3.
Tropic Us Dave. That is the size he's using. Welcome in. First time chat.
I'm a size 3 kind of guy. He's a size 3 brush for everything.
I was just about to say, we're almost at the top of the hour, chat. Welcome. We are painting up some Little Space Marines today. Started with Imperial Purple and Salamander Green from Color Forge. Use Salamander Green as the Zenithal. Diving into a dry brush of green and then edge highlighted with bright green. Can you send that up for me?
Yeah.
Right now, we're doing all the little black bits like the guns, the in between the shoulder pads, etc. And the challenge is to get this done today.
Yep, get 5 models done in 2 hours.
Chad, if he doesn't get this done, he handshook me for $500.
I didn't actually do that.
Pure money.
Did not actually
Dollar
do
bills
that.
in green.
Definitely did.
He was
not.
like, hey, Chris, I'm a man of my word. If I don't get this done, I will pay you $500.
Definitely.
His
did
exact words, Chad.
Did not. Do
Not
that.
his words, not mine.
Definitely did not do that.
Cold hard cash. That's right, Flapjack.
Most definitely did not do that. Christopher is a liar and a cheat.
The joke yesterday was I have a massive back tattoo that says harsh but fair.
You do?
Hey, I do, yeah, man.
You
My
do.
whole back. Shout out to Wad.
What kind of font did you use?
Comic Sans. And a combination of Comic Sans and Wingdings. Chris gets to reprime Adult J's Horus Mini if those 5 aren't done. No, I'm going to just take the $500. Sarcastic grandma. Pay him in pennies, Jordan. Hey.
Oh, I would pay him in pennies.
Oh, I'd take the pennies. I'm just going to annoy the heck out of that bank teller. Can you center it for me? Thank you. Smart. I take the money too. That's right. Flapjack. That is right.
Always take the money. You
These
take
are
it
looking good.
and you do good stuff with it.
These are looking good. Fun workup. Cool paint too.
Great.
The
paint.
salamander green. So vibrant.
Tell them where they can buy it.
You can go to thecolorforge-na.com. Pick up some today. And the UK is the UK store, but Color Forge is now shipping in North America, if you did not know that. A source, and I want to exchange this penny and this penny and this penny. Yeah, that's right. Swifty Bear. If Chris loses, they reverse roles. Chris must paint on stream, and Jordan is off-screen director. It's not happening.
Chris is like, I'm not going to let that happen.
Now, one of these days, when all else is lost and no one is available, maybe Chris will hop on there. It will do a very basic stream, or I'll blow your mind.
I think it would be fun to have you do your
Ghostly
your
workup?
Ghostly workup.
I do like
I
my
think it's great, dude.
ghostly workup.
It's
It's a lot
really
of
good workup.
airbrushing.
It is a lot of airbrushing. which
But
is
you
fun.
could just do it in dry brush, actually, now that I think about it. Just a bunch of layers of dry brush and probably some good filters. I just came up with a really good, fun ghostly glow, which is bright yellow green and fluorescent green with a little bit of water through your airbrush.
Mhm.
I've decided actually to do all of my. I did a couple test ones for my Soul Blight because that's what my hole in the gash is, right? He's a big green, like ghost.
Yeah.
So now I did that on a couple of my Soul Blight underneath, just as a glow, a very faint glow.
Yeah.
I love it. It looks so good
Interesting.
because you can still see the color of the model that I painted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it's just like because his whole thing is like his invocations, like, so he's bringing things back from the dead.
Yeah.
So It's almost like his little summoning, I don't even know what summoning glow. Gameplay, I missed you, Jordan.
Hey, man. It's good to see you. Hope you've been well.
You know what? I did Papa Chicken. If you go back a little further, I did paint Smaug's base on stream after Baby J did.
Certainly did. He repainted the base that I painted.
I did.
What a guy.
So Jordan,
Yeah.
where are we at right now? What are you doing?
All right. So we are at 4 out of 5 on the black suit and bolter bits being done. So we've got the rest of number 4 and the last guy left. And then we're going to move on to doing the silver, which will take a lot less time. And then the gold, which will take even less time. And then after that, we've just got the eyes. And then you could call it done. You could just call it done there. Now, I'd like to do a little bit of, weathering and chipping and things like that. Maybe a little wash, etc. We've got some
time.
We got some time, we got some options, right?
Rose asking, can
Yeah.
you talk viscosity of the paint for base/layers, etc.?
I am not thinning it at all. I'm using the paint right out of the bottle. No thinning whatsoever.
From bottle to model.
From bottle to model. And you can thin as you like. I will only ever recommend using water. Don't use a ton. Our paint already starts much thinner than you might be used to if you haven't used it before. Most of the other manufacturers on the market tend to have a much heavier and thicker viscosity. So that takes a little bit of an adjustment, but it's always a good thing because you get a paint that works right out of the bottle. You don't have to mess with, which is the goal. I mean, that's the whole reason we designed it like that, was so that you had an easier time as a painter working with the paint.
Can you center up for me, Jordan, a little?
Yeah, I'm gonna need 1 second.
Newsham with dark hot pink. Papa Chicken, I don't know what that would look like, but now I kind of want to try.
Try it on your own time. Try it on your own time.
Try it on your own time.
.304. Yeah, we're making real good progress here. The green armor is done. The black is basically done. We got the gold little pips on the shoulder pads, and then the silver.
Ghost Hunter. So yeah, what's the difference between how Jason holds the models and how Jordan? So Jason holds the model very far from his face, right? So how our camera is set is I have it set to Jason, so Jordan has to adapt a little bit for me. That's why his focus plane, just so that everybody knows how, that's just kind of how the camera works, is different than Jason's focal plane. Now they're not a massively different because our lens is able to adjust pretty quickly and the focus plane is pretty sharp. But he paints a little further away from the table and Jason paints very close to the table. Like if you go back and watch the past VODs of the bust, Jason is on the table.
Yeah, his hand is literally like
here.
He
Which
paints
is
like here.
Which is a shooter's dream. Like a camera shooter's dream.
Yeah, whereas I paint in the middle of the air.
So that's why it's a little bit of adjustments, because in our old setup, I had two cameras, one adjusted to Baby J, one adjusted to Jason. So that's why I have to do that every once in a while, is readjust the focus, and because I don't want to mess up the painter, whoever is painting, right? Because we'll have guests too. But those little gentle reminders helps the audience see, because I want you guys to all be able to see it as well. but not have to move the camera around, if that all makes sense. Great question.
That is a good question.
Everybody paints differently. It's very interesting. Especially as a videographer, I get to watch everybody painting differently. So the angles work differently, right? Luckily, our two painters in the building are, Jason and Jordan, right? The ones that typically come on stream are left-handed painters.
That's so huge.
So for
It's
me,
so
my
convenient for
job
you.
is a little bit easier just because I don't have to readjust. Now I paint with my right hand and I can still find the angle because I also know how the angle is adjusted, right? But that's just how it goes.
Definitely a nice bonus. Makes life easier.
If you're all tuning in, welcome. Jordan is painting up a squad today. Doing some quick painting workups. We started with Imperial Purple and then went into Salamander Green.
You want to punch out for me real quick? All right. On to silver we go. We're making good progress here.
So you're transitioning over to the silver now?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to re-punch in for you here.
Yep. Boop.
Yeah, the workup's looking really good.
Be real careful here. Now I get paint everywhere.
Question: any disadvantages to using primer as general paint?
So, when you're using a rattle can primer, no. Specifically because of the type of paint that it is. This is specifically a lacquer primer, so it's going to be a lot more durable. It's designed to be a surface coat and also a color base coat at the same time. And it will work better for those applications than something like an airbrush primer would be. Which is why for painting an army, if you're going to be, going really, really quick and you want to do this sort of efficient style, that's why we started with those.
I'm going to zoom back in.
Those primers from ColorForge. Might have to paint a hole in the front of the bolter.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It looks a little weird without the...
I want to get some of that Voton black-like paint and use it on parts of certain models. I think it would make a cool effect.
You talking about that like ultra black?
Vanta, oh yeah, the
It'll make it look really weird.
Vanta Colt, like the ultra matte black or something.
You literally won't be able to see those parts of the model.
Jordan, why did you paint the magazine black if you were just going to paint it silver?
It from a time perspective, it's easier to just slop the paint all over the gun, and then come back and clean it up a little bit later.
Nice.
Afterwards. I'm also gonna clean up the snout of this guy really quick because I got a little bit of.
Drill the barrel, says Ghost Hunter.
I'm doing it right now. I got
You got a time crunch. I think some people's they gotta boop his snoot.
Gonna boop the snoot.
That's a technical term.
That is a technical term.
Wanta Fanta? Don't you wanta? Fanta Black is my favorite Fanta, even better than the orange. That's funny. Gonna pre-order the Old World Wizards, even though I don't play. Me as well.
You turn them into zombies?
No, I actually had a diorama idea for all of those meeting around a fire in the middle of the woods.
Oh, that's cool.
I love those models. They seem really fun to paint.
They're definitely a lot better than they used to be.
Yeah, they're going to be
That's
great
for
in the plastic and all that.
Well, they were in plastic before.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, the old ones were in plastic, but they weren't as good. Thinking about maybe doing Noosh on this
Oh, yeah?
as a finisher at the
Oh.
very end. I think that would be a great way to, because, Noosh is one of those great products for working on an army. And it's a great, final step. It looks really, really nice. I think it will complement everything we got going on here. I'm thinking about it. That, or we could just use a wash. Trying to figure out what everyone would prefer. The part that I missed on the last guy, so I'm gonna have to go back and paint the back of the backpack on the next guy. Now the cool thing is, stuff like this on the backpack, this is an area where you could save a little bit of time on each guy,
I'm going to zoom in here.
because you can avoid painting this on every dude,
Okay.
and most people would never know. You'd never know if this was not done versus done
Yeah.
in a swarm of guys on the table.
Yep.
You never know. But since we're being a little thorough,
It's a good 3-foot rule.
Yeah. This is kind of the other thing, right? We're not looking for this model to look good up close. We are looking for this model to look great on the table.
Yep.
And those are two very different things, right? You paint models for a reason. And these models are painted to look good on a table. We want to have them arranged on the table, have them look nice and spiffy. Other than that, we don't worry about getting super in the weeds with making sure these guys look awesome. because they're going to look awesome just by being done and painted relatively cleanly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
What do you-
amazing how much work you can get done with just doing that.
What do you think you're going to noosh them with?
If I decide to noosh them, it would probably be my typical preference, which is transparent black, transparent brown.
Source is asking, are looking good on the table and up close mutually exclusive?
They are not mutually exclusive. Well, so here's the thing. The more time that you spend on a model to make it look really nice up close, the less it's going to be noticeable at a distance. So you could put a model that took you 30 hours to paint and a model that took you an hour and a half to paint on a table. And if you were using the right techniques and you were focusing on the right aspects of the miniature for that hour and a half, your model would look just about as good or just as good as the model next to it. In some cases, it might even look better. And this is kind of where the weird part of it comes into play, because a lot of those details don't register from that far away. That nuance doesn't come across, but it does when you're painting in broader strokes, right? It's like, what's the best way to describe this?
Silly?
Hmm?
No, I'm just being silly. I don't know.
Well, I'm just trying to think of, like, it's kind of like looking at a model or imagine like a billboard, right?
Yeah.
The detail on that billboard may not actually be that high resolution. Like the actual resolution of the image may not be super high resolution.
Right.
Because they don't need it to be. If you look at it up close, it may look terrible. It may look super blocky and hard to read. But when you look at it from a half mile away, you can read it.
That's kind of what we were discussing in chat the other day, because I have these certain zooms, right? So when I zoom in 500%, it's going to be really like almost cloudy in a way, and really zoom in. But then at some point when you do go back to this and you're like, oh, that's what it looks like from, a foot away. Panic bomb. Jordan should dry brush them with olive flesh. Ooh.
Christopher would love that.
I would totally do that 100%.
100%.
Because
totally
another reason why I like doing that is because from 3 feet away, it really makes your models pop. That's why I do it.
It's all about contrast. Like
It
that
literally
adds
just defines
more
their
contrast.
edges, and it just really makes it pop. Maybe when Jordan's not looking, I'll take some dry brushing and just ding, 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 ding.
On top of these,
Maybe. Who knows?
definitely.
Who knows, chat?
You get to tell Jason.
I will. I will indeed.
You need to tell him that you went ding, 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 ding on top of the models.
You're all just tuning in. Welcome. See a bunch of people coming in. Happy Friday. We are painting up a squad of Space Marines here. If you hadn't catched the beginning of the stream, we primed these with Imperial Purple and Salamander Green from the Color Forge. You get those at the colorforge-na.com. And that's where we started from. Then we worked into a little dry brush of green, then bright green for some edge highlights. Then we painted some black and silver bits here, and the rest is history. And Jordan is going to pay me $500 if he doesn't finish.
We got 40 minutes, chat.
$500.
40 minutes. 4-0. And then if I win, Christopher gets to pay me
No, it's a lie.
$500. Okay, then instead of $500, Christopher buys me a AOS army.
Oh, what? No, absolutely not.
You had to think about it for a second.
Captain America needs to get a DA 100. That's right. Some of the terrain I've printed. That's right. Sometimes you just need a good old DA 100. I saw Jordan and Jason preview that on stream last year. It was pretty cool. Wish I was there for that one.
You were.
No, I wasn't, which was crazy.
You just don't remember it. We drugged you.
What?
You were in a different
What?
place.
This is horrible news.
you were in a different place.
That's not good. That's so dark.
Your mind was in a different place.
Wow. Yikes.
You were
Chat, you heard it here first.
You were thinking an awful lot like Jason that day. An awful lot.
Dusty Hobbies. Not sure how readily available they've been in the NA previously. They weren't until just recently this last year. But I can say with some confidence that Color Forge makes the best Rattlecam primer on the market easily. Matte Black is bonkers good. It's Pro Acryl. It's the Pro Acryl of the Rattlecan world. Definitely pick up some and give it a good old try. And also, we partnered with the Color Forge to make our own black matte primer as well, which is even more matte. So check that one out too. But Dusty, I'm really glad you're liking them.
Yeah, it's been great getting the opportunity to bring something like this over to
Dusty,
our
been
side.
lucky enough to use them here in the UK for a good 5 years now. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're definitely well loved in the UK.
Yeah, all of them are great. It's so funny. I'm just discovering some fun Zenithals. If you've seen some of the commercials I've done recently, Imperial purple underneath death. Obviously with this green, but the convict orange is great. I'm trying to find a color combo in my mind, but it's really endless when you think about it. Whatever your theme wants to be, right?
Well, there's just a lot of great colors that you can use to do a highlight shadow pair, right? So the options are basically only limited to the colors that exist, and there's quite a few that exist. We have our waves in 1 and 2 already. There's more to be had after that, because they still have some colors left, all those signature colors and things like that. But even with what you can get right now, tons of options.
Yeah, Dusty, they're both great. I've definitely been enjoying the color combos. Cannibal, yep, I've been doing that as well. I've been doing colored Zenithals with my airbrush and PA paints for ages. Yep, I do that as well.
Yeah, this just allows you to go faster, right?
That's it. I did these in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I let it dry first before I did the Zenithal over it, but yeah, very quick. Yeah, the colored Zenithal and the fun base coat definitely get you more encouraged to get the project going, because you can kind of envision what it's starting to look like from an early stage.
Yep.
Plus, if you know the theme, you could just get that done quick, so that at least when you go to play, that you have a semi-painted army. I'm going to zoom in here for you, Jordan.
Yep.
Jordan's just doing some of the little silver bits right now.
Yeah, we're going to get to a lot more of the kind of fun bits here in just a minute. We're kind of in the base coating stage, right? So this is that long period of time where you're just working on all the little base coats for each of the sections. The nice thing is 5 models at a time is a really good, I find, number of models to work on in this sort of way, where you're just kind of batch painting them, right? You're doing one step at a time on each of the guys. Then you move on to the next one, and so on and so forth.
That's how I did all my recent models. Just batch painting really encourages you.
Because then you get it done. You're like, whoa, these 5 models are done.
Yep.
Period. Finished. No more work needs to be done. Boom.
Nice.
That guy took very little time to get done. Cool. That looks good. And then the last guy, we're going to knock this out real fast.
Iterator, having lots of can colors is great, but bad in that not sure what to try out. That's, yeah, absolutely. You definitely get a little bit of analysis paralysis, but definitely try different combos. They're fun. Just try it and see if it works. I tried the Retributor Gold over Harex Brown, which is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
I tried that on a Stormcast Eternal.
Actually, this purple would be really good underneath that gold too.
Yep, absolutely.
Would be really nice. Nice cool shadow for the gold.
Proactive Studio. My issue with the color shadows in Xenothal's is what colors do you use / go for when painting black armor?
Well, in my opinion, you don't want to do a Zenithal for black armor. It requires you to shade down a ton to get to the right kind of level of shade to make those dark areas feel like the main armor feel black again. It's better to work up with a lighter color. Now you can Zenithal in like a really, really, really like dark gray.
Yeah.
But you want to be a little bit more specific with where you put it. Because really when you're painting black, like you really want half of that model to look black. Like half of that armor should still be black for the whole time that you're painting it.
Papa Jicken is asking, I seem to burn through brushes at a horrible rate. They get trashed so quickly. How can I tell if I am the problem? Am I just treating them poorly, or do I need to get better brushes?
You know what? That's sort of a tough question to answer on stream. The best way that I would recommend, honestly, is to send a message to us on support. That question will likely go to me. One of the things that you can do, just so I can kind of talk about it right now, is you clean your brushes on the regular basis. So, Gentastic's Drunken Brush Goop is an amazing product for that. It is the best brush cleaner I have ever used, bar none, full stop. It is both a brush cleaner and conditioner, which is really important. Think about this, the fact that these are natural hair brushes, right? These fibers have a lot of, will absorb moisture in a different sort of way than synthetic brushes will. So think about your hair when you're thinking about this sort of thing, right? And so it can be really important to have a moisturizer along with the cleaning properties of the soap, especially since it strips a lot of those natural oils out of the hair. So keeping it conditioned afterwards, very important. And then just, making sure that you're not getting a ton of paint into the ferrule, right? So when you're looking at a brush, you want to make sure that you're keeping the paint away from this silver part, right? This silver part is called the ferrule. This is what holds the bristles of the brush together. And once you start getting paint in there, it starts to dry and it starts to push the bristles apart. So that's when you get these brushes that have those issues where the hairs of the brushes start to splay apart. That's because there's dried paint in the ferrule of the brush. The brush soap will do such a fantastic job of cleaning out your brush of all of its dirt, grime, and dried paint that's in there. So I definitely recommend using that. And then the other thing to consider too is that brushes are designed to be, or not they're designed to be, but brushes are a disposable tool. You will burn through brushes. I know a lot of people in the industry and in our hobby, they don't necessarily think about that. And it is a tool that will naturally degrade over time. Some people are harder on their brushes than others. I am notoriously harsh on my brushes, and I use them until they're way past their pull date, as it were. And I still make it work, and I make things look nice with it. But once you switch back to a real clean brush afterwards, you really notice the difference. You're like, wow, I should not have been painting with that for the past however long you've been painting with the bad brush. But yeah, shoot a message to support. Send over some photos of your brushes. I would be happy to take a look at it and see if there's anything that I can do to specifically recommend things based on the condition of your brushes. Or I might even just be able to tell you that, hey, a good cleaning will help your brushes come back.
Yeah, the brush group is fantastic. I've used so much of that in my lifetime, and I've been constantly reviving my brushes. So Jordan, it looks like you're moving on to the rivets.
We're moving along. We're on a time schedule here.
The studs, not the rivets.
We're painting the studs on the shoulder pads. This is the only part here that's going to be this gold color. We're using rich gold for this.
Nice.
And you don't necessarily need to worry about having a super fully opaque coat over the whole part of the model. Just getting the color on there, good enough for right now. Like I said, we're going to do a Noosh wash on these afterwards anyways. Probably in the last 10 minutes or so.
Iterator, what's the time crunch on these? LVO? No, today. He's going to try to finish up these 5 units today. Or 5 units, 5 models today.
Yeah, we're doing
it's coming together. I mean, y'all are watching it. I mean, it's coming together, right? The big thing with this was that we primed it with Imperial Purple and Zenithal with that Salamander Green, and that took out a lot of the work.
Yeah.
In not a bad way, but in a really efficient way. Yes, would the last step be the Noosh step?
Yeah,
nice.
That will be the last step.
I will not owe Jordan any money. He shall owe me the money. If you got it, you don't need it. If you need it, you don't got it.
You're lucky that Jason's not here.
Funny, funny, funny what money can do.
Chris.
D. Martin. Money song. Look it up.
Money song. Look
if
it
you
up.
Got it.
All right.
You don't need it. Take the whole bottle of Noosh with the color, put it in a bowl, and just dunk them. I agree with that one. Dunk them. That's what I did. You guys want to see a fun example of what Noosh could do on a massive model?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Go check out me and Gabe and Phillips' YouTube channel. The when Noosh the Stompa. Yeah, Stompa Iterator, you've seen it. I caked that thing in Noosh, y'all. I caked it.
A camping mug
and Noosh. I used half the bottle just to give a perspective, which was I did not have to use that much. Iterator, the reason I bought my first bottle. Yeah, I'm glad. That's awesome. I think I remember you were mentioning that a while ago.
Oh, he saw the video and bought a bottle?
I think so. Yeah, that's what
great.
Iterator just said. I remember that from a minute ago. But yeah, that was definitely an extreme. I like the extreme use case stuff, Give it a whirl. Zazin, who is he painting these for? Just himself. We wanted to do a fun little VOD workup on this. Thought it'd be kind of fun to show some of the power of the ColorForge primers.
Yep.
Source, quick disclaimer, I am not a professional. That's what I said in that's the first line.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Source.
Where is
You know what's up.
Bold Titanium White.
Bold Titanium White.
Guess what we're doing?
What are you doing next, Jordan?
Actually, we're not using Bold Titanium White.
What are you using next?
We are using orange red.
For what?
The eyeballs.
Oh my gosh. Okay, do you want to try to do a big zoom in?
Yeah, I might need to use a smaller brush for this. Let me grab something.
Okay.
Perfect.
Don't be a douche, use Noosh. That's right, Source. Okay. I was having a fun time that day. Yeah, we were definitely giving it a fun workup. Noosh is an awesome tool. I loved it how it turned out on my models, but it is a powerful tool. All right,
All
Jordan, you ready?
Yeah, let me scoot these guys
Yeah,
back.
get comfy. How
Yep.
can you do it that way? How's that feel? Or you want me to do 200?
No, that's good.
Okay, hold. I'm going to get really focused in. There it is, chat. You're welcome. Beautiful. Watch that, chat. I don't want to make him laugh.
Ha 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 ha.
That's beautiful, Jordan. Nice. Nice job. Nice. Dante, what do you normally use to stick the models to the cork? That is the Awkwardish Panda's secret formula. The half blue tack and half museum tack. Is that it?
Museum putty.
Museum putty?
Yep.
Awkwardish, if you're still in there, let us know your secret.
I'm still using this stuff. It's great.
Panda tack. That's right.
Panda Tack.
That's an excellent name. Doghouse Hobby Studios. Quiet on the Green. Jordan Lamb for birdie.
Hole in one.
He is 7 under par on the back nine. I'm going to zoom in, Jordan. All quiet on the green. This approach, this is a fast green. It's downhill left. And he's done it. And he's done it, chat. Woo! I shot a lot of golf, chat. My past life. So what color are you using here, Jordan?
That is orange red.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, Spitfire Miniatures. Does anyone have tips for painting scaly things without losing details? I think Jordan might have an
I'm a
answer.
master of painting scales. Being in control of defining the scale. And what I mean by this is there's two things that's really important when you're painting scales. Okay. One is to specifically paint not every scale, but you want to make sure that every scale is largely identifiable, right? I can show you on. Hey.
That's right. Did you see what I did there? You see what I did there?
All right. So the first thing is you want to define the volumes, right? What I mean by that is you want to apply highlights over the entire shape of the form, right? So this is a cylinder that's being wrapped around this kind lady. And so we're highlighting the cylinder and the shape of the cylinder. There's a little bit of divot in the middle of this as it goes, right? So we're highlighting it like that. But then also notice that there's individual detail for every scale, right? Whether the scale exists or not physically, you paint it in. And that's what makes it feel really realistic, is the combination of those two things. So highlighting the volumes, recognizing the shape through painting the simple shape. And then from there, you define each and every individual little scale to some extent. Now, this doesn't mean that every scale needs to have the brightest highlight on it. That's not true. You're going to adjust the highlights depending on where the scale is in relation to the other highlights on the model, right? So it's really important for you to think about it from that perspective. And if you do that, you'll be successful.
When did this turn into a prison torture stream? That's funny, Ghost Hunter.
All right. So
All right, where?
couple things.
Where are we at?
We are at a point. We are now at an impasse, folks.
An impasse.
Not an impasse. I'm just being silly.
That's okay. I like that.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the other brush, which I apparently lost.
Which brush you need?
Where did I put it? I put it back in here and not. There it is. Okay. So we're going to take the neutral gray.
Okay.
We're going to do a couple of really small edge highlights on the
Okay.
guns.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Okay. There you go. I'll zoom in for you.
And we're going to mix this with a little bit of black so that it's not super crazy.
You want to center up for me? Thank you, sir.
All right, so we got 15 minutes. So really simple,
More crunch time, chap.
really, really quick.
Beautiful.
Simple. Simple and quick.
Center up on this one for me, Jordan.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Ooh, this looks great. That's a great little touch on those. It really brings out the value.
Well, there's a lot of shapes
Yeah, a lot of like harsh light you could do. Like, yeah, that's great.
that you can do on these guns. And it literally just takes 2 seconds on each model, just kind of building out that shape. It is literally that simple.
Nice.
And the other thing I'm going to do, because I actually think this will look really nice, I'm going to add black to this little chest thing that they have. Add just a little bit of contrast. The model on the chest.
I'm going to zoom in one more time for you.
Yep.
There you go. Right there's perfect. Nice. If you're all just tuning in, welcome. I see a bunch more people coming in here. The workup today started with Imperial Purple, then into Salamander Green. Those are color primers from Color Forge. Then we went into a dry brushing of green, and then edge highlighting with bright green, and silver and black bits with some orange lenses and some gold studs, and now we're here.
All right. Noosh time.
All right, this is, so tell me in your elevator pitch of what
Yeah.
this step is.
All right. So, Noosh is a great tool for adding filters to your miniatures. And what a filter is basically think about it like a color filter that you'd put over like a photo or something like that. It's a translucent layer of color that goes on top of the color that you've already established to change the way that the color looks underneath the filter. Now, in this case, the goal is to do this in such a way that creates the appearance of like weathering and dust and grime and that sort of thing. So what we're going to do...
Ooh, show me that workup.
Yeah, so we're going to mix in...
Okay. Nice.
12.
Show that to the camera for me. Nice, okay. Just about 12 drops, you said?
12 drops.
Nice.
And we're going to do 1 drop. That's a little big drop, but that's okay.
What was that color?
Transparent brown.
Transparent brown, okay.
And then we have transparent black. Okay. then we're going to take
Take it easy, Awkwardish.
a grimy old brush.
Okay.
We got one right here.
Can you hold that and mix up to camera and just say what that is one more time for
All
me?
right, so this is going to be 12 drops of Noosh to 1 drop of transparent brown and 1 drop of transparent black. And we're going to mix this. Now, the reason why I put so much Noosh in this is I want this filter to be relatively light. I don't want this to be super duper crazy. We're also going to add just a touch of water. I like adding just a little bit of water to lower the viscosity a little bit. It just kind of helps with getting all the paint into the recesses of the models. And we're going to start throwing it on these miniatures.
Here's a good question about Noosh. I've been trying to, but can't figure it out. Can you Noosh as a pinpoint panel liner? I can't get the capillary effect to go, and it just pulls up.
Yep, you don't want to use it as a panel liner like that. Because, so when you're using oils or enamels, those are made out of a different material, right? So this is a water-based acrylic. Those are enamel or oil-based. Those have a different level of viscosity to them, and specifically for what you're asking for, a different level of surface tension to them, which allows them to have a better capillary action. So they will seep into the recesses better than a water-based acrylic will do. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get that sort of effect out of Noosh. It just means that you have to apply it differently. That's the big difference here, right?
I'll zoom in again for you. So here's a good question. What's the difference between transparent paints and the washes? Could I use the washes with Noosh?
I probably wouldn't use washes with Noosh just because they're already pre-formulated and they have their own kind of thing that they do. Transparent paints are basically just acrylic paints, but they're translucent. So they're great for doing filters. They're great for mixing into other colors to shift the hues of them. They're great for adding a saturation back to things that have become really desaturated through mixing or through layering in the form of filters. There's lots of different applications for it. And the only thing that I can recommend is that you watch our full-length video on it.
Yep.
We released a video recently on how to transparent. And it's a great tool for learning how to apply and utilize our transparent paints. It's the whole reason why we made the video. They're super versatile. It really is
There's
the
so
most
many.
versatile set of products that we make. And they are in a lot of ways magical, right? Like
They are, and something going to on that subject, Proactive Studio, would transparent green on the armor improve the saturation and blend it in with the highlights in this case?
Yeah, you could. I wouldn't necessarily use it in this specific application just because I don't think it's necessary. But if you were to say do like a level of highlights with, like, if you're doing this all with an airbrush, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to start with a dark green, and then I'm going to do green, and then I'm going to do bright green, and then I'm going to do like, I don't know, pale yellow on top of it, right? Your final highlight's going to be really desaturated. And what you can do is you can take that transparent green and you can go over what you've already done, and it will keep all the transparent or all the layering that you've put together on it. But what it'll do is it will allow you to end up with a result that will sorry, I lost my train of thought there. It will allow you to basically filter over those colors in a way that will resaturate all the work that you've done and keep all the layering and highlighting and all the gradients that you've created. I'm going to need to make just a little bit more of this as I didn't make enough for all 5 of these guys. But that's okay.
Yeah, check out Proactive. Watch the definitely watch that, and That video is awesome. I just put the YouTube link up. The one on only PMs, yeah, you watch that video as well. It's great. Jordan did a great job. I'm gonna zoom in on this last one, Jordan.
I'm gonna need to.
Oh,
wipe
you're making
these
more.
down. I have to make more. Yeah.
Okay.
I ran out. So I'm gonna wipe these guys down because I don't want to leave them too long.
Sure.
Let me grab the sponges. Hiya.
How long do you typically leave? Okay, so you're doing this right now. How long could you let these hold?
A couple minutes is fine. Remember, I added a little bit of water
Center up for me just
to the mixture.
Mm-hmm.
So these are definitely going to be
A little bit more wet.
A little bit more wet. Or not a little bit more wet, but they'll take a little bit less time, or they will be quicker to dry. Jeez. And because they're a little quicker to dry, I'm going to want to make sure that I get to all those spots quicker so that I don't leave anything to stain over the armor.
Yeah, proactive. And says me that is the Color Forge link that I just sent to Salamander Green, which is the Zenithal we did on this over Imperial Purple. Source is asking, I thought water increased the drying time. Is that the opposite?
What, Chris? I said, which way did I say it?
No, the
let me clarify.
Yeah,
The more you add to the noosh mixture,
right,
be it water or non-noosh material,
right,
the less noosh you have in the mixture, the quicker it will dry.
right.
So that's the way that you want to think about it. And this applies to any mixture you're making with noosh.
Yeah. I'm gonna zoom in.
That's why I added so much noosh to this.
Right.
Partially because I wanted it to be lighter on the filter, but also because I wanted the noosh to dry a little bit quicker because we're on a little bit of a.
Yeah, and even so, then essentially we're here. It looks like we're just about to wrap up with this.
Yeah.
I mean, now you just let it dry, and the rest is history.
Yeah, you can do. I mean, there are plenty of other things that you can do to this, but I mean, in 2 hours, we took a model from being just primed, basically, to being done. You could literally assemble these together on a table. You put them on a table and you go, "That's my army," and it would look great. And I think the biggest thing too is once you do the base, like basing is such a big deal, right? If these had bases done too, like these models would look absolutely incredible.
Yo, absolutely.
And the nice thing too, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The nice thing about this too is that you could do the bases before you do all this too. If you had the bases prepped, you just paint the bases after this, and then you paint the base room and you're done.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you'd have to do.
Put some red earth on there, some of our texture paint.
Yeah, red earth would look really good for this.
Red earth would look great.
And see how easy it is to replicate the mixture? Like, I just already have a new mixture made up for this guy.
But missed another basing opportunity. I was hoping that was the surprise Jordan was hinting at earlier. No, we were just basing a different. We just wanted to get the main subject of the models done today. That was our goal.
Yep. You'll notice too that like this filter also adds like a really interesting richness to the green that it doesn't naturally have like it looks much richer green as it starts to dry.
Yeah.
That's because you're adding more saturation on top of it, right? That kind of goes to the transparent talk that we were talking about, right? When you add a layer of saturation over it, kind of makes the colors more intense. And that's what this transparent filter is doing. You could do this with more opaque paints, and it would actually be less intense afterwards. So if you did like a, I don't know, like a black brown or something like that, you would notice that the green wouldn't be as intense as it would be if we just, since we're using these transparent colors.
Take it easy, Game Delay. Have a great weekend.
Bye, Game Delay.
If you're all just tuning in, we're going to be wrapping up in a little bit. We just wanted to get the final layers on here of the noosh. And obviously you guys will see this in a video of this whole thing, and then you'll see also the dried version.
Yep, the final
I'm going to take some good photos of these so you guys will be able to see it.
And I'll even take some time while I'm waiting for that one to kind of set in a little bit.
Oh, wow, you're just painting the base too. Look at you. Going all in, chat. Risking it all. Look at that.
It makes
Source,
such a
what's
big
the
difference.
noosh ratio? I think it was 12.
It's 12 to noosh,
Uh-huh.
1 to transparent brown, 1 to transparent black. That's my usual go-to. I use that pretty much on everything if I'm going to use noosh. Obviously, you can adjust it depending on what sort of environment you're trying to create, right? But in general, I just dipped it in the noosh. Whoops. But yeah, that's my kind of my favorite mixture so far. At least for general purpose use.
Captain Mandarin's defo Chris owes Jordan money. I don't owe him anything. Yes, Source. And a little spritz of water.
And a little spritz of water, yeah. Not necessary. It is not necessary. I like it. It's a nice little addition.
No, Papa Chicken, not 6 noosh, 1 color, 1 water. It would be 12 noosh, and then 1 color, then the other color, and then the scoosh of water. The scoosh. The scoosh? The scoosh?
It's the scotche.
The scotche of water.
And technically, I even have a few minutes still because we didn't start this until about
Oh,
3:08.
Chad, here come the excuses.
We even have more time.
Here it comes. I knew it. Here it comes, Chet.
Hey, I mean, I'm still going to be done before 4:01 turns the clock.
Whoa.
I'm just saying we even have extra time should we need it.
So what was the noosh one more time? Zazin's asking. It was
Right.
what
12
colors?
drops of noosh,
Uh-huh.
a spritz of water, 1 drop of transparent brown, 1 drop of transparent black, and then a good old mixing and throwing it on your model. That's it.
I'm
That's all it takes.
Once you paint that base, I'll have you line it all up.
Boom, 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 boom,
Oh
boom.
man, look at him. He's having a hurry, chat. Mr. Blue, oh, you missed the stream today. That's okay. It will go live.
In moments.
For everybody who is just tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. We stream 2 to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. I just put in a bunch of links above. Check out our store. Definitely check out some of this VOD once it goes live again. I'm going to make a video out of this as soon as I can. It's definitely a fun workup. We used Imperial Purple, then Salamander Green as the Zenithal on this bad boy. But yeah, this was the challenge today. We really appreciate it. Line those up, Jordan. Line them up so I can zoom in and
Here,
I'm gonna
let me pull 'em over
refocus.
here.
There it is. Oh boy.
Now these are still drying, so they're going to look a little shiny right now. But we'll give them a nice little matte coat. You guys will be able to see at the end what they look like.
Yeah. That's how do you feel, Jordan?
Easy.
So
Quick and easy.
give me the workup in a 1 minute thing.
Yeah. So workup for these guys, very simply, is you take workup for these is really simple. You start with Imperial Purple. You spray over it in a Zenithal with Salamander Green. You dry brush a little bit of Procryl Green between the two so that you smooth out some of those transitions that can be a little bit harsh from using a rattle can. And then on top of that, you mix or you use bright green for your edge highlights. You can mix a little bit of green in here for the areas that are deeper into shadows so that you don't make them too bright. From there, base coat all of your silver, base coat your black, base coat your gold, and then go back, do a little bit of highlights on the black areas with just a touch of neutral gray. And then after that, noosh to your heart's content, wash to your heart's content. It could be just done there. You also want to paint the eyes. You can do that really simply with a little bit of red orange or whatever color you choose for that. And then you get a really nice finished model. You want to zoom in on that guy?
Yeah. And that'll dry up really nice, and I'll take some pictures. You guys will see that in the VOD. And I'll also take a good picture of that once it's all dry, because it definitely news dries awesomely. So anyway, thank you all for joining. Jordan?
Yep. Let's take us out.
Yeah, take us out.
It's been a pleasure, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know that I managed to get my way out of the dungeon today. Hopefully soon I'll be free from the dungeon for good. But who knows when I'll be back next. But I'll be back. You guys don't worry about it. I'm here. I'm still painting. I love you guys. And we'll see you next time.
Yep, we are going to do some rating, so stick around, show some love for the chat we end up in, and you all have a great weekend. Bye.